Emergency funds. While many financial advisors recommend having an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses, others argue that the money could be better used to pay off debt or invest in the stock market. Good day, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about a topic that is important for all of us: emergency funds. Emergency funds are funds that are set aside to cover unexpected expenses, such as medical bills, car repairs, or job loss. While many financial advisors recommend having an emergency fund, there are some who argue that the money could be better used to pay off debt or invest in the stock market. In this speech, we will examine both sides of the argument and try to come to a conclusion on the matter. First, let's take a look at why having an emergency fund is important. Emergencies happen, and having an emergency fund can help prevent a small financial setback from becoming a major crisis. Without an emergency fund, people may have to rely on credit cards, loans, or other forms of debt to cover unexpected expenses, which can be costly in the long run. Having an emergency fund can also help reduce stress and anxiety that often come with financial difficulties. On the other hand, some people argue that emergency funds are not necessary, and that the money could be better used elsewhere. For example, some argue that the money could be used to pay off high-interest debt, such as credit card debt, which can be a significant financial burden. By paying off debt, individuals can save money on interest charges and improve their credit score. Another argument against emergency funds is that the money could be invested in the stock market, which could potentially yield higher returns over the long term. Investing in the stock market can be a great way to build wealth, but it is important to remember that it comes with a level of risk. The stock market can be volatile and unpredictable, and investments can go down as well as up. So, how can we reconcile these opposing views? The truth is that there is no one-size-fits-all answer. The decision to have an emergency fund, pay off debt, or invest in the stock market depends on individual circumstances and priorities. However, there are some general guidelines that can help individuals make informed decisions. First, it is important to assess your personal financial situation. If you have high-interest debt, it may be wise to pay it off before building an emergency fund or investing in the stock market. Once your debt is under control, you can then focus on building an emergency fund. Experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses saved in an emergency fund. Second, consider your risk tolerance. If you are comfortable with risk and have a long-term investment horizon, investing in the stock market may be a good option. However, if you are risk-averse or need access to cash quickly in case of an emergency fund may be more appropriate. In conclusion, emergency funds are an important tool in financial planning. While some argue that the money could be better used to pay off debt or invest in the stock market, it is important to remember that emergencies can happen at any time, and having an emergency fund can help prevent a small financial setback from turning into a major crisis. The decision to have an emergency fund, pay off debt, or invest in the stock market ultimately depends on individual circumstances, but by assessing your personal financial situation and risk tolerance, you can make an informed decision that is right for you. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, share our videos and subscribe to our page for more nuggets of wisdom.